Welcome back to another episode of Scale Like a Savage, the podcast. I am your co-host, Brittany Boatwright, and I'm checking in from Knoxville, Tennessee. Now, my co-host, Jamie Seneca, she is not in Florida. Jamie, where are you today?
Good morning, Brittany. I am actually in Big Sky, Montana in a hotel room. Yeah.
Big Sky. What event are you at exactly, Jamie?
So I'm at the what is it called? Dream Big Big Sky event in Big Sky, Montana. And you were actually with me this past week, and I stayed a little bit longer. So I'm excited to recap on all of the things that we took away from this incredible event.
Same. Like, I have been on so many trips. I'm sure, like you, like masterminds and conferences in my 9 years in real estate, but like nothing has impacted me the way this one has. Like, I told one of the team leaders, I was like, usually when I travel, I'm like full of anxiety. I feel like my team needs me. And I was just so at peace there. And I think that being in that peaceful state allowed me to truly take in, for one, the beautiful environment. Oh my gosh, Montana is one of the most gorgeous states in our entire country. But to take in the environment, to spend time with you, but to also deeply connect with the other guests that were there too, to dream big. So I'm excited to get into like our three big takeaways from our experience there.
Yeah, it was so beautiful because when we remember when I got off the plane, I was like, "Oh my God, there's mountains!" It's like so incredible, so peaceful, and yeah, the people that we met here were amazing.
You get off the plane. I knew you would because I was ahead of you on the plane. Oh, first of all, y'all, let me tell you how Amy and I can scale like savages because we just do it messy. She already knows where I'm going. But we are like, when it comes to fine details, thank God I have my assistant Charlie, and I know you have Maria helping you out, and she's phenomenal. But we didn't even
Hmm.
realize we were on the same flight leaving out of Atlanta at 8 a.m. that Saturday. I called Jamie and I was like, "Hey Jamie, where you at? What time's your flight?" She's like, "Oh, I'm actually in Atlanta right now. My flight's at whatever." And she's like, "Wait, I think I hear you." We were literally freaking sitting at the same diner across from each other and didn't even realize
People
it.
thought we were crazy. I like screamed, I'm like, "Brittany, oh my God." And we were on
Just
the
got
same
the show
plane.
like,
And then our husbands were like, "You guys talk every day and you had no idea you guys were on the same plane." And I was like, "Yes, that pretty much sums us up because we're usually all about business."
yeah, yeah. And then
Mhm.
also what I love is that like we both were like our husbands playing everything. Like Aaron knows. I just turn my brain off when I'm with him. Like I'm so strong and I get to lead my team. But when I'm with him, I'm like, I'm super soft. I'm marshmallowy soft. And I love that for me. Like that duality that I get to lead at work, but I can just be completely turned off and safe at home.
So yeah, I'm that way with Steve too. Like in the beginning of our relationship, I used to be the planner, but now in the scale phase, when you're just like go, 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 I'm so thankful that he is able to just like help me with everything too.
I love that. And those amazing
Yeah.
husbands of ours allow us to dream big. So, guys, we put
Yeah.
on post it notes our three big takeaways because I know we can get the yapping and we didn't want y'all to miss the plot of it all. Okay. So, the first thing was the event was called Dream Big, Big Sky, of course. And something that Jamie and I realized over dinner, and Jamie, I'll let you tell the folks who were at dinner with, was that we can put limitations on ourselves. Like we think our dreams are just this massive undertaking. They're probably impossible. They're likely, not going to happen. But that's a limitation we put on ourselves to stop us from dreaming bigger. And Jamie, can you share like how we came to this revelation? Because it was just a really cool moment for me.
Yeah, I mean, so Dream Big, Big Sky is an event that is coordinated by Robert Palmer and his leadership team, but it's open to teams across the country who want to dream big. And we had the beautiful evening and the blessing of being able to have dinner with Robert Palmer and his leadership team, which was incredible. And just looking over the mountain, I don't remember what the mountain was called. I think it's called Lone Peak, right? Lone Peak Mountain.
Girl,
I could be
I don't
wrong.
know.
I'm not sure. It was a beautiful mountain. Oh, I was at the Yellowstone Club. That's where we were, at the Yellowstone Club. It was such an
Yes.
incredible it was
Jamie almost we were almost kicked out of the Yellowstone because Jamie wanted to film, and I was like, "Gotta put that camera down." Like, yeah.
I know, I was like, "I need to take a video to show Steve where I am. It's so beautiful." But yeah, I mean, just sitting at dinner and just having conversations of what our dreams are and what has been accomplished by other people. Like me and you both sat there and reassessed our dreams, and we both realized we're not dreaming big enough.
Yeah, and it was really when Robert asked me what my goal was, and I told him, I said,
Mhm.
at first, because we were at dinner with, oh my gosh, Michael Valdez, and I didn't know
Yes.
that all he did with NARA And I was like, well, I want to be the biggest African American team leader in our country. And I was like, wait, I can't even quantify that because you can't go through like the real trends list and look up like what ethnic background people are from. I was like, you know what? I'll just be the number one team leader in Tennessee. So I looked up because I'm a mega team, and I looked up who's currently leading within EXP, and I said that person's name. And then I think Robert maybe asked me, he was like, why don't you just be like the number one in Tennessee? And I was like of all brands and brokerages. And I was like, wait, like, no, because I said I want to be number one woman. And he was like, no, look up who's the number one team enterprise, like team, period. And I was like, I have no idea who that is. They looked them up and I'm like, okay, well, yeah, the guys in Nashville. Like I should have known. But that instance made me be like, wait a minute, if Robert thinks I can become the number one team, period, in Tennessee, how about I just became the number one freaking team in the entire United States?
Let's go. I
Let's
mean,
go.
let's go. Yeah, and I had that limiting belief on myself too. I was like, I want to be top 5 in Broward County, which is my county in Florida. And then I met some incredible team leaders here who are also in Florida that have gone from 100 and what was it, like 50 transactions all the way up to
Yeah.
1,800
Mhm.
transactions in just 2.5 years. And I was like, wow, I'm not dreaming big enough. And sometimes I think that's a really great reminder for our viewers is that when you're on this journey and you're on this scale journey, like sometimes if you haven't hit that milestone, you can't see what's possible yet. But through community and through
Mhm.
borrowed belief, you realize what is possible. And now I'm like, okay, my dream was too small. I'll hit that goal, but I know that I could take it even
Yeah.
further and impact more lives. Yeah.
For sure. So the limitations we put on ourselves, and Jamie, I was going to say, Jamie, who in your world, because a lot of times we put limitations on ourselves, yes, and thank God for people like Robert and Keegan is actually who you and I got a chance to mastermind with the first day of breakfast. And he was like, guys, I did like 150, not like just 3 years ago. So it's totally possible for
Hmm.
you to also do the same thing. And what I realized about these guys, which is what I love, not to talk shit about anybody, but it's like they're just normal people. They're just more
Oh, yeah.
disciplined. They have a community that just continues to like push and pull them. So yeah, if you're listening, you think I have nothing special to offer, you do. All of us have that special thing, but it doesn't mean that what your special talent is, will hinder you from hitting whatever audacious goal you have. So Jamie,
Hmm.
with that said, because I have someone in my world who I definitely want to give a shout out to and show her some love to, I want to know who in your world do you know that's currently experiencing a limitation that they put on themselves, and you look at them and you see them as like this bright shining star. Because I know I have somebody, but I want to know who that is for you.
Wow, that's a great question. I feel like a bright shining star, limiting belief. I mean, I feel like everybody in my world, like we all cripple ourselves in some capacity, right? Like,
But viewers need to know. Like, I seriously think that, like, when you sit down and you write down a list of people, like the people we get to lead, and you coach so many folks with the Reside platform, like, and
oh
you
yeah.
can have these coaching calls with them. Like, you don't have to name them if you don't want to, and you feel like breaking that circle of trust. But I know this person listens to our podcast. She'll get something from this. So Hannah, if you're listening, Hannah Riggs, she's a newer agent on my team. And I don't necessarily think that Hannah has any limiting beliefs in which that she can't do it. I look at her and I see myself in that she did not have someone growing up that showed her what was possible. So like
Mm.
I know in the back of my mind that I'm always searching for like people who show me that it's possible on the way through. I have to find those mentors. And what I love about Hannah is that I know I'm that shining star for her. So that's pressure, which is a privilege to me. So I want to make sure, like, shit, like I have this very young, super talented, just gorgeous girl looking up to me. I want to make sure that I steward that appreciation well. But Hannah,
Mhm.
if you're listening, if you have any limiting beliefs about what's not possible for you, I want you to just release them, because with the right mentor and community and your eagerness and just your freaking relentless attitude towards excellence, like you will crush it. So she was someone who, like, when I first met her a few years ago and she was getting into real estate, I was like, oh, she's young right now. But that's not something that's going to stop her from just running through her goal. So with that said, Jamie, who in
I
your
love that.
world do you think is like a star that may have a slight limiting belief that you just want them to release today?
So I want to actually say, like everyone on my team, that I feel like you said, I want to be that steward for everybody on the team and to show what's possible. I feel like when people come into our world, the goals that they have for themselves is their limiting belief. And then when they plug into what's possible, they realize they're capable of so much more. And I also see that like when I'm coaching reside coaching clients, right? It's like, well, I'm gonna bring on 5 more agents by the end of the year because they are not sure how many people actually want to join them. And then once they get their 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, they're like, oh my gosh, why didn't I think to dream bigger and bring on 20 more agents? Or our reset team, I want to do 10 transactions for the year. And then when they hit that, they realize they could actually do 20. And just seeing what's possible and being surrounded by people like you and myself and community who just want to see people win and lift them up, that is such a beautiful responsibility.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
everything. It's the reason why you
Yeah.
and I started our teams was to show people
Yeah.
that there is an easier way to thrive within the real estate, career space, so I love it. This next one, and y'all, I'm picking up sticky notes for my listeners out there because, again, we wrote down the 3 things we took away from the Dream Big, Big
I
Sky
have my
Pivot.
little notebook here.
This next one, Jamie doesn't like the F word, and I think the F word is okay. But what I want you guys to take home is that pivot isn't failure. And that's the
Mm.
F word. Y'all thought I was something else, but
I was gonna
pivot
say I
isn't
drop
failure.
F bombs all the time, Britt. What do you mean?
But not that one. She doesn't like the failure word. And look, I'm an overachiever too. And I know a lot of you guys listen to our podcast as well. But what I want y'all to know is that for me, losing or failing at something is just the best opportunity to get better. It's really a pressure test to see, like, okay, that didn't work. Now, how do I pivot to make sure I still hit my goal? And Jamie asked me this because she was like, well, I don't like the F word. So for me, my biggest pivot came last year when I shut down my little boutique brokerage where I was serving like my team as well as other team leaders as well as solo agents. And it was just like, all this shit that just kept me bottled up. Like I had to deal with compliance, lawsuits, like crazy stuff, desk fees bouncing. And I'm just like, why am I building someone else's version of success? I never set out to own a brokerage. What I really wanted was a community and environment in which failure, the F word, failure wasn't possible with damn hard work, right? I just wanted to give agents the tools, resources, leadership, and support to hit their individual definition of success. Another quote from Robert Palmer. But I'm just like, that was never what I wanted. And so when I pivoted last June, it was so freeing. And I'm much more happier as a team leader. I show up better as a friend, as a freaking spouse and mother. But like, I didn't want to let go and pivot because like ego was driving me as well. I was like,
Mhm.
those folks on the outside looking in, they're like, why would you give up something that you own when the whole time I'm like, I'm really just borrowing that shit anyway. Like it just comes with additional
Mhm.
overhead and franchise fees. But yeah, anything that comes with a franchise fee, you guys, y'all don't own it. I'm just gonna let y'all know that right now. That's my hard belief. And so being a team leader and owning that, like it's just been so much more freeing and profit. Jamie and I talked about the profit that I experienced what in May. Blew my mind, completely blew my
Yeah.
mind. Thank God I let go of the ego and the fear of judgment and made a pivot that was necessary for me, my family, and my teammates.
Yeah, and I think that's really an important point because that was something I'm not going to name who it was, but we got the privilege to see someone's P&L here at Big Sky. Britt, you actually had left, so you didn't get to see that, but we discussed your
Oh.
profit in May, and I think too the pivot of a lot of people pivot when it's hard and then they shut down, right? But we pivoted when it got hard and we pushed harder. Seeing someone's P&L go from negative, 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 negative to $50,000 in profit for the month to 110,000 in profit for the month to 200,000 and then it hit a 4 in front of it for the month. It took years, like holy life changing. And that is incredible of like what is possible. Remembering like sometimes you feel like you're failing and you want to pivot, but pivoting towards action and pivoting towards pushing harder and finding those people who dream big is
Yeah.
so critical. Yeah.
Absolutely. I made a Facebook post about this, funny enough, yesterday, because I was recapping what my team has accomplished looking back from 2024 till now. Like in the entirety of 2024, I believe we did like $28 million. We served 77 families. In just Q2 of 2026, we helped 86 families and we did 38 million. Like in one
Incredible.
quarter, completely surpassing what we did in an entire year. And I remember the beginning of that year, it was just me and two other teammates. And Aaron had just had his second surgery for the rupture of his other Achilles heel. My husband needs to not play ball, but whatever. And I remember being surgery. I'm like, babe, he didn't realize. I was like asking for her out. I'm like, you're about to have a surgery. I just finished my cancer stuff and we have a child at home. I'm like, I can go and get a 9 to 5. It's okay. I can make
Mhm.
just like, 50, 60, 70, 80,000. I'll be happy. And he was like, absolutely not. He said, you are so much bigger than your current situation. Like you're
Mhm.
thinking in present moment. And what I see is someone just so much bigger and better. And so when I talk about pivot, like I wanted to pivot and have it just be me and Chase, like my number one guy. And Chase reminded me, he's like, hey, your dream is bigger than that. He's like, I know people are tough. We just got to find the right people. So that's when I really
Mhm.
started and attracting and talking to my avatar, like that wholesome person. And while 2024 numbers were like a quarter of what they were in 2022, I did it with a lot of brand new teammates. And most of those teammates are still on the team today, and they're having freaking breakthrough years now, 2 years later. And so that just goes to show like sometimes you can pivot and quit, or you can pivot and just do the damn thing and put your head down.
Mhm.
Like, so
Put
I'm
your
very
head down.
grateful life. And you were someone like we didn't meet each other until like what last year in person. But I met you in 2024, seeing you doing the build while we were totally virtual and online. But I was following you on Facebook and Instagram. I'm like, she pushes me to keep going because I see her also in that same like messy middle.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's also too, like, my husband, like, in a moment where I've wanted to pivot at times and, like, I'm shutting it all down, right? You had that moment in the beginning where you're just like, "Oh, like, I'm giving you everything, just come on and soak it all in and grow," and now, thank God, I'm past that, you know what I mean? The agents are bought in, the agents are seeing success, and they've plugged into all of our systems and processes, but there was a moment where I wanted to pivot, and my husband was like, "What, are you gonna go be a barista at this place?" And I'm like, "Oh god, okay, no. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. Let me keep going. It hurts, it sucks, but let me just keep pushing." And yeah, I mean, the pivot and now seeing the success of the agents that have aligned with us and seeing your success, it's just been such an incredible journey. Yeah.
I want y'all to hear something Jamie just said because she said the pivot was still painful. And I think that most folks want to avoid pain, but hear us loudly.
Mhm.
You're going to fucking have pain either way. Whether you're pivoting and you're still doing the thing is going to suck. And it really sucks more and it's more painful if you pivot and you just give up on your dreams because then you are a never was. And I don't know about you, Jamie, but I would rather be like a has been, meaning like I made it and then I'm not like revered anymore or constant failure because at least then I'm not giving up on my freaking dreams. Like, we're not talking
Oh
about
yeah.
pivoting and burning down the ships. Like, first of all, burn the boats, just fucking burn them all and find people that continue to pour into you and like encourage you to dream big. So, with that, don't have an ego. But the last point, and Jamie mentioned it earlier on our sticky notes, is borrowed belief. So when
Mhm.
you're making that pivot, you need to borrow some belief from some people. What have you gotten, Jamie? Because you're still at Big Sky. Like, who has inspired you the most with the belief of what's possible?
At Big Sky or just in general?
At Big Sky, yeah.
Wow, my gosh, there's so many people. So Robert Palmer, in general, just the fact that he had a mortgage company, he didn't have to start a real estate company, and he has poured so many resources into the growth of his company in just short 4 years, which is insane. And then looking at that, I started my real estate company about 3.5 years ago. So obviously not access to as much capital as he has, and just seeing what he has done in a short 4 years, I'm like, wow, that is incredible. But taking it down a notch, I mean, Keegan, I don't know his last name. I think you know his last name,
Sig-
Britt. Siegfried? Yeah, Keegan, oh my gosh, his story is incredible. Bryant Tumblakis, some of my Reside crew was here. Saneet, who is one of the co-founders of Reside, Saneet Agarwal, Ross Hardy, John Rhoda. I mean, borrow belief from all of these incredible people. Not only are they great people, but they have great stories. They have great moments of pivot where they've wanted to burn everything down as well. But just like us, we burn the boats and keep freaking going. And the success that they've had on their journey is very, very, very inspiring.
yeah. And that journey is always going to be paved trials and tribulations, guys. Like, it's not going to be easy at all. So if you're listening, you're like, I want to scale my fucking company. Listen, You're signing up for one of the hardest things you may ever do. Like people think marriage is hard. To me, marriage isn't hard because I'm a great communicator. Me and my husband, we talk shit through. But this, like when you have so many different personalities, like you're juggling a P&L, overhead, like stuff changing. This is absolutely hard. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. But please realize that that hard and that pressure is necessary to get you to the other side of it. And I know we're going to talk about this
Mhm.
on another episode. So I won't try to get too deep in it. But what I will say is that when you're scaling a company and you're borrowing belief from people, what you're really doing on the inside is that you're becoming the version of you of who you need to be that's necessary to get you to the other level. Like in the middle of all of
Mhm.
this is like refinement. I think it's like a fire that you're going through. And it's just like pressure
Mhm.
and they make diamond. Like you just have to go through that and you'll come out the other side and you're like, holy shit, I'll look up and now I've done it. And now your responsibility is to go back and pull somebody else up with you too.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yeah, God. So we're over time now, Jamie. Man, we just get to
Oh,
talking and I'm
shoot,
like,
we are
man,
over
okay.
time. We have another guest coming up. Ah!
I
There's
have enough
honestly
good
so
guess
many
waiting
takeaways
waiting for
from this event. Yeah, there's so many takeaways. I feel like we can even do a recap number 2. I know my internet here is, like, a little spotty and it's going in and out, which is kind of frustrating, but I do wanna end on this too. When you're scaling, remember the reinvestment into yourself and into your team and into your company might not feel comfortable in the moment, and it's okay, and I think that's something that the viewers really should, if you're challenged with this, just understand, like, we've all been through it, and that was one of my biggest takeaways too that we didn't get the opportunity to talk about was, like, there's months when we were growing both of our companies where we're just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm putting tens of thousands of dollars into this build and I'm not seeing that back yet." And just understanding that if you keep moving and you keep going, like it will come back to you and to your team in some capacity. And that was like a big takeaway for me because that was a part of my journey where I wanted to pivot and then I chose not to and I allowed the hard to keep going. That was something that I took away yesterday. So, yeah.
one. That's a good one.
Hmm.
Like if you are
Yeah.
listening, exactly what Jamie said, and you're like, I'm gonna keep going. I will say this, with the caveat, like I did take out 2 personal loans to make sure my employees were
Hmm.
good and we kept lights on. They pay those loans off in full last month. Super happy for that result. Guys, realize that that happened at the end of 2023 and here I am in 2026. Like you just double down. Like if you're just not gonna give up,
Hmm.
don't give up. Like don't guess yourself. Don't let people talk you out of it. Find the right community. Dream big, big sky is something I think they've done like what 2 or 3 times now. So I'm sure it'll come back again, but definitely one experience that I recommend every entrepreneur attend.
Yeah, it was an incredible experience. This is the second event that they have done, and they said that it doubled in size from last year to this year. So I'm sure it's going to triple in size next year, which is very exciting.
Yeah, I'm bringing the whole family next
Mhm.
time. I'm
Me
pumped
too.
up. So again,
Yay!
guys, let me recap. Dream big. Okay, just dream big and release those limitations you have on yourself. Pivot isn't failure. And then the last one, borrow belief. Find you a community, find you someone to look up to, get into coaching. I just want to let you guys know our next upcoming episodes right now in our waiting room, we have one of the conversion masters. So if you're a team leader and you pay for leads and you're like, my agents just won't do the thing, please stay tuned because we have one of the best in the real estate industry, blessing the podcast with his presence, his knowledge, and everything. I'm so excited to talk to Travis.
I'm so excited for Travis. I love him.
Yes. Well, until next time, guys, be sure you listen in every Friday at 8 a.m. Eastern, Scale Like a Savage podcast. We'll see you again soon.
See you soon.
Bye.